Do you want me to tell you or quiz you?
Tell us. Oh.
Tell us.
You can quiz.
So I'll quiz. And so if I'll quiz, so do you want me to quiz like myself, just quiz and then give the answers? Or do you want me to quiz and have you answer?
Quiz and then answer.
Do you want me to quiz and then I answer, or do you want me to quiz
If
and
we
then...
don't know, then give us a few seconds and then you can.
Okay. So this is a layer of the eye. So you see all of the layers of the eye, all the tunics of the eye are shown on this. And when we're looking at this, you have to imagine that there's a space right here. That space here is called what? Posterior cavity. In that posterior cavity, that'll be right here, you have the vitreous body, or vitreous humor, and that is pushing down. That's actually putting a force on this retina, keeping the retina in place. And so you have to imagine that vitreous body here, nice clear vitreous body. This is the retina. Does everyone kind of see how the light would go? Light would go down. So light comes through this layer and goes down, and then these are the photoreceptors. So light will be sensed right here, but light goes down like this. And then right here you have a lot of melanin within the choroid, and that's going to absorb excess light. A little bit of melanin also in the pigmented epithelium. Absorb the light, so it stops the light so it doesn't reflect. So we'll first go through the different tunics, and then we will go back and do the specific layers. So if I were to put the pointer right here and say what tunic is above the pointer from here all the way up, that would be the nervous tunic. And so if the question is tunic, you would think, okay, nervous tunic, vascular tunic, or fibrous tunic. So this is nervous tunic up here. And then from here down here, this tunic that has these blood vessels, and there's a lot of melanin there, that two names for the tunic would be the
Vascular and uvea.
vascular tunic and the uvea. And so we can see vascular tunic, uvea right here. And then under it, this tunic is the fibrous tunic. Good. So those are the three tunics. For each one, you could also be asked specific layers. We'll just did the fibrous tunics. The specific layer here is the sclera. So this is sclera. This would be dense, irregular connective tissue, very, very tough. I go up here, we saw the uvea, or the vascular tunic. The specific layer here is the choroid. You want to remember it has melanin to absorb excess light. It has blood vessels to nourish the eye. You can see these are arteries and veins, and they're trying to show capillaries here and the top that are purple. So this is the choroid. Then I get up here, which you already talked about, being the nervous tunic. It has two specific layers. This specific layer down there would be the
Pigmented epithelium.
pigmented epithelium. Good. Pigmented epithelium has melanin to absorb excess light. It also stores vitamin A. And so the vitamin A is stored to make what chemical? Retinol. Good. Retinol would be in the outer segments of these cells. What is the general name for these cells?
Photoreceptors.
Photoreceptors. Good. So the photoreceptors are rods and cones. Rods and cones have these outer segments where you have the photopigment, and the photopigment has that retinol. And so vitamin A is made or used to make retinol within that outer segment in the rods and cones. If the rods and cones are going to release neurotransmitters that will influence these cells here, which are called bipolar cells. They are the first order neurons for vision. The bipolar cells will synapse with these cells here, which are the ganglion cells. Good. The axons of the ganglion cells will make up the optic disc. So these axons will go, or make up the optic nerve, go through the optic disc. You make up the optic disc and then the optic nerve and then the optic chiasm. They then are the axons in the optic tract, and they will eventually synapse in the thalamus. So that is the layers of the retina. And then this part of the model is showing at high power this right there. And so we are only looking at the photoreceptors, but this is a place where we do see the specific ones. So this cell right here is cone, and then this one is a rod. Good. And all these other funny parts of this model, like here or here, won't be asked. So the parts that would be asked is the front part here, and then the front part there. And they're showing some other kind of, I'm not sure what they're showing, but you know, more of what you would see in the microscope. But I would ask them here where you see the cells. I think that covers everything, yes.
Which one are the rods or the cones?
So the cone is the one that looks most cone-shaped, and these three rods look more like rods. I wish they made the cone look more like a cone, more wide. And I think even when you're looking at the microscope, cones are much wider. And so I wish that this one was made a little wider. But this is a cone, and then you have three rods. Good ones, you know, that's the only place really to see those cells, important cells. So you want to recognize them in this model. Good. Any questions on this? Any other questions?